Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is a market update for Monday, January 5th, 2015. We're going to take a look at the market here real quick. Given that we had a big move today, I said I'd update if we had over a 1% move, and we had almost a 1.9% move in the Dow Industrials, and we're well over 2% at one point. So the Dow was down 332 points today. At one point, it was down over 350 points. The interesting thing that I'm seeing here is I'm drawing a trend line from the low in October, from the low in December up here. And these guys, all the indices are rapidly approaching this. The Dow and the SPX are some of the closest. I talked about an alternate count up here. Right now, this is my preferred count I'm going with. There is another scenario I just want to point out. This could be wave one. Let me get my marker here, and I'm just going to point this out. It could be wave one here. This could be that we're working a two. This is possible that this could be like an A, a B, and I can hardly write, and then a C. Now, if this is that type of a move, A, B, C, flat, and then we're going higher. I'm just speculating here. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm saying this is another potential scenario you have to keep in mind, because even though this breaks this trend line and it comes back down here to this low, everybody's going to start getting really, really bearish, including me probably. But, you get down to this point and you say, well, okay, this could be an ABC. So we're going to have to be real careful. We're going to have to watch the waves, see what happens down in here if this continues to move down. If it takes this out, we're going to, again, we got to watch the wave structure to see what's going on. But that's just one scenario I just want to throw out there that we need to be aware of and be watching for. Let's see, the S&P 500 is even closer to this in terms of the trend line here. And you notice this closed below the 55-day moving average. The Dow was right at the 55-day moving average. The Nasdaq looks like it's breaking this trend line. Now, its 55 is a little more upslanted, a little stronger to the upside. Okay, so it's potential that it could be getting support here. We're just going to have to see what kind of follow through we get. I've talked about how we had divergences in here. Divergences are coming home to roost. Now, here's the New York Composite, which is the weakest of everything. It's still possible that this is a top, because this is the intraday high up here, okay? This was the closing high. This is an intraday high. It's still possible that, this was a wave one, and this is a wave two, and now then this is a wave one, two, and we're working a three. That it goes like this, but that means it has to break this point here as a part of this, and then we have to have the wave count that justifies that type of a move. So that's the challenge that it gets into here. This looks like, we had a big pullback, did not go to a new high. That's what's making me think this could be that type of scenario. And if that's the case, then this is working a wave three down, which would be a very, very strong. And then, of course, we got a huge, very strong day down today. Let me just mention the the down volume swamped the up volume 7.3 to 1 today. So it was much more dramatic with the volume than it was on the advancing declines. There were 3.3 advances to 1 decline, and new highs just slightly. I think there was like 4 maybe more new highs and new lows, almost even. We'll look at that in a minute. The last one we'll look at here is the Russell 2000. And again, you can see this repulsion off this trend line. Okay, this is a strong trend line. This is a trend line from the 2009 bottom. Okay, and so again, this is not nearly as down as far as the other indices. Where the New York Composite is, look, it's below the 233-day moving average. Where it's at. Now, it hasn't broken this little trend line in here either yet, but and I drew this trend line over here because I think it's a similar type scenario, although this is bigger, okay? So, you know, big strong move. We'll see whether or not we get follow through. Short-term trading index 2.18 here, closing higher than it did back on, when was that, Thursday? Yeah, or actually it probably was Tuesday. Yeah, because we were closed. Now, this was a high reading, but it didn't have any effect. That was on the 10th, and that was just a part. If you go back to the 10th was right here, and then the market, it kept coming down anyway. So a lot of times you need a cluster of real high trend numbers, short-term trading index numbers to get that. Let me see. The next thing I wanted to look at is the VIX, and here we go, the VIX. Okay, this kind of surprised me as the weekend close. Given that the market was down, you know, 330 points today, the Dow, I'm surprised the way this VIX petered out here towards the end and sold back off. So I'm not sure. We're going to have to see follow through. If we break this trend line here, then I think there's a real good chance we'll come up and retest the highs here. But it looks like we got some work to do to make that happen. Getting this, you know, I told you we had this little fishhook thing, so we got to move to the upside. That's great, but it wasn't super strong, didn't take out this point. This has got the potential now to turn into an M top, which is why, see this little kind of an M, kind of an M, okay? So I'm not, you know, it's got to show me, it's got to do that tomorrow and take out this low for that to happen. Right now, the trend's to the upside. But again, these are just scenarios. You just kind of plot them in the back of your mind, go, okay, that could happen. And we'll take a look at the high-low index. And again, I told you it was like 4 more new highs than new lows. So nothing dramatic. We're back at neutral. Now, the interesting thing is I think I still have the new lows. Yeah, new lows in here. The new lows, let me blow it up. Well, it's not super good, but the highest point on the new lows back here in November was when it was 81 new lows. All right, and that was the highest point, and then it took out this low area in here. Okay, low number. Well, today we're at 86 new lows, and this is the highest number of new lows since December 17th. So we could be getting a little bit of a thrust to the upside. We'll have to see. I mean, we kind of bottomed out at 18 new lows down in here. And the new highs, it's kind of interesting when you look at these on their own. The new highs, you look at these peaks, it's clearly did not confirm the move to the upside on the Dow. I mean, 31st, 28th of November, and the 23rd of December. Okay, so you go back to the Dow, and here's, the 31st, and back up in here, and then here. Okay, so you got higher moves, higher peak, and none of that was confirmed by the new highs, and subsequently by the net new high-low net. Okay, and the last thing we're going to take a look at real quick is just the high-yield bond, of course, rolled over, sold off, negative. We'll see what kind of follow-through we get. The energy, financial ETF here, a big sell-off move to the downside. But again, we still got this trending up, and, we're going to need to get a little more damage in to get serious about it. I mean, this could be nothing more than a pullback based on the way this looks. So we'll see if it takes out that low. And the last thing we'll look at is the energy select sector, because energy, of course, was with crude oil, dropping below 50 on the futures. This has rolled over again to the downside, and we'll see whether or not we come down and challenge this prior low down here or not. But this is what is taking down CAT and a whole bunch of others. So, all right, that's it for the market outlook tonight. Actually went a little longer than I intended, but just thought I'd give you a little snapshot of everything that was going on. I'll be back tomorrow night with our regularly scheduled Tuesday night video. It's been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great Tuesday, everyone.